Welcome to episode number 261 of the Keep Up podcast.
Where the ghost of Christmas present is your past.
You think there's a ghost of Christmas present as well as a ghost of Christmas presents?
There has to be. Do you think there's a ghost for everything in the world? You know how in like Greek mythology, there's like gods for everything?
Oh, yeah.
Do you think there's a ghost for everything?
Sure.
Yeah. No.
That's too many, dude.
There's too many?
Be so many.
The ghost of toe fungus. The ghost of fungus on toes.
That guy got the short stick.
Yeah.
Because I feel like...
well, I imagine you love it. If you're a ghost, you probably love...
Is the short end of the stick?
You don't want it.
But is that the same... You don't get a short stick. That's not a phrase.
No.
You do the short straw, though. That's a thing.
Yeah, you can draw the short straw.
What the hell's the short end of the stick?
It might be... I could be wrong, but I always thought it was in reference to, like, being hit. Being, like, beat. And you don't want to get beat with the short end of the stick because it's more painful.
Wouldn't the long side would be way more painful?
No, because the short end...
Dude, you get that whip? That... You know what I mean? That's cracking through, like, the...
Yeah, I guess if it...
The space-time continuum?
Yeah. Yeah, when it's like...
But I'm just thinking about is the end of it is just the end of it. There's not a length. I mean, I guess, like, you're holding it.
Right, when you hold a stick, I mean, do you always hold it in the middle?
Dead center every time.
Center.
I never
There must always be a short end. But what's bad about getting the short end?
I don't know. The short straw is like, all right, whoever picks a short straw has to go in the basement and look for the ghost of wine cellars. Or
right,
whatever.
the ghost of wine cellars.
Yeah. Which is a place. Wine cellars. What's that noise?
Everything's going on. Lights are on. Dogs are running.
Yeah. That scared me. The ghost of
Bobo comes busting in.
the ghost of dogs.
The ghost of that would be a cool ghost. I bet it'd be like the Grim Reaper, but
that's why I felt like the fungus one was like not a good one.
He would just be a big toe.
Are the ghost of the things also the things? Like, is the ghost of dogs a dog?
The only way to be the thing.
Or can it be like a ghost lady in a dress?
For dogs?
Yeah.
It could be, but in this case, no, it's a dog.
Not.
Yeah.
It could be, but it's not.
Right, it's situational.
I get you.
That's a cool show idea.
What's that? The ghost of everything?
Yeah, the show will be called The Ghost Chronicles.
Okay.
The Ghost Chronicles. And each episode will talk about a ghost and the thing it does.
Right.
The show it'll be like 7-minute episodes. Like shorts.
But it's like 72 seasons.
Right.
100 episodes each.
And it'll be half animated, half claymation, half live action.
Oh my gosh. Dude.
And half
you can't have 3 halves.
In my world you can. 3 halves make a whole melon.
You know what else is a whole melon?
What?
The Keep Up podcast, where I'm Brett and Tim's Tim.
That's me.
No, we talk about all the things we consume, be it media or food.
Mm-hmm.
And we took a break.
We took a break.
How many episodes do you think we took a break?
We took a break. 100.
How many episodes? I didn't say the full.
Yeah, I didn't know where you were going.
How many episodes do you think we say we took a break? We didn't take a break. We
Brett went on vacation.
Well, we did. Yeah, I went on vacation.
Brett said, I quit the podcast.
Yeah, and Tim was like, listen, if you come back, I'll give you 100% of the proceeds.
100.
And so
here we are.
Looking forward to those proceeds.
All $7 from our 7-minute videos.
7-minute videos.
Yeah.
What's that mean?
Were you not here at the beginning of the podcast? The Ghost Chronicles?
Yeah.
7 minutes in length?
Oh, right. Wow. I forgot about that development.
Wow, I was so ahead of the curve.
I was confused.
It's okay. Confusion is life.
Yeah, the break is my fault. I went on vacation and but now we're back.
It's okay. We came back.
It's fine.
So we got plenty of things going on.
We do. We got all kind of things. How was your week without a podcast, Tim?
It was sad.
Yeah.
I was in my own week of turmoil though. The internet has been nothing but a nightmare for me. So it was better we took the week off because nothing was working at my house. So
oh yeah, interesting.
Yeah, just
yeah, Tim streams on Twitch, and we're actually we stream the podcast live most Wednesday nights, but whenever we record on tips on Tim's Twitch channel, which is twitch.tv/Collection Revolution. But he also streams full time there outside of the podcast, and no internet means no streaming.
Right, no streaming, and it wasn't even like the internet wasn't working. It worked literally everywhere else in the house perfectly.
Yeah.
But when I was streaming between 6 and 7 p.m., the internet would constantly just cut out.
Garbage.
I would get disconnected from stream.
And that's like when you stream? Like,
Yeah.
is that your schedule?
I start I start at 3. So 3
Okay.
to 9 or 10 or whatever. So
And you would get those like 3 hours,
yeah.
and then it would cut out.
Yeah.
Trash.
So I technically still could have streamed,
Mhm.
but if I wanted to play like a game that I knew I would want to play for a while or
Sure.
whatever, it would just be a headache to get disconnected. It would constantly
Yeah.
like reconnect, and people would be alerted again and again. So
We hate headaches.
yeah, just technology sucks. So
Yeah.
we ended up getting a new Wi-Fi router and all
Mhm.
that stuff, and the new one we have had issues earlier today. So I don't even know.
Yeah.
I don't even know. I'll give it a little bit more time. It's new technology, I guess.
New
so
technology, guys. We're just learning about it.
We're just learning for the first time.
Yeah.
But I remember the days where I would get home from school
Mm-hmm.
and not worry about anything.
Yeah.
I would just eat a bag of Cheetos,
Play a video game.
turn on Sonic Adventure,
Yeah.
have more Cheetos.
Right, of course.
And that would be it.
Keep it local.
Keep it
We
local.
don't need any of that internet. We don't need the
No.
outside world coming into my home.
Nah.
No. And then getting me attached to it,
Uh-huh.
and then choosing to no longer come into my home because
Right.
it's a weak connection.
Yeah.
Like
Like
an
it
abusive relationship.
It really, Wi-Fi is truly a monster.
Sucks you in, and then the connection is no longer what it once was.
Yeah. It's a weaker connection.
Yeah.
And
you
then,
rely on it.
yeah.
You know?
And the fact it like decides when it wants to break up.
Yeah, it's just so, and you have no say in it, and
Nope.
you've built this schedule around your relationship with it.
Yeah. We've built the city.
Yeah. We built this city. Oh, the bus. I told you about the bus guy?
Yeah. I want you to tell it here.
All right. So some listeners know we frequent, this actually is a relatively recent podcast joke.
Yeah.
But we got stuck real hard one podcast within, it was this year for sure, but
Yeah.
I already forget which episode. Where Tim's, I think you said 2 tickets,
Uh-huh.
or I got, or something.
You could hear.
I like that he's locking eyes with me. There's a dog behind me just viciously cleaning
You can
himself.
see it on camera. I don't know if I can
I
show
don't
this
see
on
him.
Twitch. Right over your shoulder.
Oh yeah,
the
I
other
just
side.
turned around. He
Oh.
just locked eyes with me while licking himself.
Bubba, relax.
I literally just heard it, and then I
It's just
saw
like, he was like,
it was terrible to turn around to. So I think it was that you said I got,
yeah.
and that triggered I got 2 tickets to paradise, and we just did it so many times that episode, and now
Too many.
it comes up in stream, and people will comment it, and it's one of our things.
Mhm.
So Rachel, my wife, and I, we took a bus down to the airport and
Mhm.
back when we came back, and on the way back, there's the bus driver comes out and he's grabbing everyone's bags. We're driving from Boston
Get
back
over
home,
here.
and the guy was super cool. Like
Mhm.
just the way he was talking to everybody, he was just having a great time. So I'm standing behind Rach, and she walks up to him, and she goes, she's got her tickets on her phone, and she goes, I got 2 tickets. And the bus driver in front of her and me behind her at the same time go, I got 2 tickets to paradise. We both sang it, and Rach started laughing. I was like, bro, I wish Tim was here.
That's amazing.
Mind you, it was like 9 p.m.
Yep.
on like a Tuesday night. We're exhausted. So it was like that. It wasn't like our high energy one. He just went like, I got, and then I just with him.
Went with it.
2 tickets to paradise.
That's the whole reason to live it.
It was great.
For moments like that,
It was beautiful.
where things come together. That was your full circle moment for that song.
It was, yeah, it was. It was
Mhm.
so good. So do we retire it now, or are we just adding to its lore?
I think that's just more lore.
Yeah.
You know, it's,
I agree.
I want to hear that song on the radio.
I don't think I've heard it since we made the joke.
Yeah, I don't. It never shows up. But every time, I think the rule from now on
Yeah.
is if we hear it and we're together, no matter what situation, if we're in a movie theater,
yeah.
if we're at a bar mitzvah, whatever, if it plays, we have to just do it.
I'm waiting for us to be in a theater, and
Yeah.
that is part of the soundtrack.
Part of the
And we
soundtrack.
just interrupt everyone.
I think that's the rule. 'cause
But I feel like, all right, if you're in a movie theater
yeah,
and one guy sings it, you're like, shut up, dude.
Yep.
But if two
Two
guys
guys.
sing it, like there's a decision's been made. Are you supportive of that moment?
I think it's funny.
Especially if they've been fine the whole movie. Right?
It depends on the movie, I guess.
Yeah.
But if you're playing that song, it's usually a fun moment.
That's the thing. And if the song is like the primary, like people aren't talking, it's
Mhm.
just that's the soundtrack, that's what's playing.
Yeah.
and just randomly two guys in the theater just fully engage with it, I think I'm like, all right, yeah.
I'd be there for it. I would be very curious, but
also it would be funny if for just that happens, and they never talk again throughout the whole movie.
That's it. It's just that one moment.
Those dudes love that song.
It's just their song. I think that's our new rule.
All right,
our new brotherly rule.
I'll do it. But dude, I swear if we're at a movie and it happens and only I do it, I will be so mad at you. I'll never forgive you for that.
I'll make sure to pull out my phone and record it. The only way it works is if we do it together.
Yes, of course.
It's the power of crowds.
The nightmare,
of community.
Strength in numbers. Yeah, community. That's what it is. That's what the Keep Up's all about.
Community.
Oh man.
Oh,
that's hilarious.
That was a good time.
It was a great time.
Yeah, I can't wait till it happens.
Oh.
I wonder what movie. I'm gonna look up every movie that has that song in it and just play it randomly.
No, the best is we have to be surprised by it.
Sure.
We have to just be going to see a movie.
Yeah, I hope we're at like a party one day and we're across and we both lock eyes like,
dude, the best moment I ever had in my life that's like that is, so my friend Ethan and I went to see Norma Jean. And are you familiar with Norma Jean?
I know Billie Jean.
Nope. So
not my lover.
So they had just put out a record called Redeemer. So this was like it was probably like early 2000. I don't remember what year it was. And there was this one song that we both loved, and there's this big vocal call out right before a really heavy part in the song. So we both like we had talked about the record and how much we loved that one particular song. And what is the line? I think it's, so the music all comes in, it just goes dan dan, and then the vocalist goes, "Tonight the South is on fire," and then everything comes in, right?
Yeah.
So we both go to the show together. We were there together, but we got separated during the show. So we're just like, we're around on the floor, big general admission situation. The song came on and I'm so stoked, and I'm looking for Ethan and I can't find him anywhere. Because I'm like so amped. I'm like, bro, it's the song.
You gotta find him.
So the part comes up.
Yeah.
Because the whole reason I was looking for him is when they go into that part, I wanted to rush the stage, and it's a hardcore show. So like he's gonna hold the mic out, or everyone's gonna yell it and pile up. So the part comes in and it's like dun, 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 and I start running, and as I'm running up, I look across, and Ethan is running in pace with me, and we converge at the stage and almost crash into each other. We jump. We're like, South. I was like simultaneously laughing and screaming the lyrics. It was so funny. We were crying, laughing afterwards.
I can feel the hype from it.
It was so hype. Because we were both. I know he was looking for me, and I was like, "Where the hell is Ethan?
We gotta go."
I was like, "Well, it's the part. I can't stop it." And as I'm running, I'm like, "There he is!" It was like slow motion.
That's amazing.
So good. Yeah. So.
Oh, life's good.
Life's great. You know.
Or South though.
I think it's fine.
Oh, okay.
You know?
Yeah.
It's just in that song.
Yeah.
Great song.
It sounds good. At least that part.
I don't know if you'd like it. At least that part.
I don't know if you'd like it.
We have
a lot of things to talk about.
We got a lot of things to talk about. We have
2 weeks worth of content.
Yeah, 2 weeks worth of stuff. We are in the beginning of spooky season, which I hate to say it out loud, but it's gonna come and go so fast.
It did, right. We're already in day 4.
Day 4. Oh, you know what? That's actually way earlier than I thought it was, so I love that.
What do you think today was?
I don't know, dude. It just feels, my brain is already on like we got an October special to do.
Did he just say it?
We got Patreon stuff to do. I'm thinking of I have stuff I want to do on my channel. Dude, the past couple weeks, or maybe it's just been the past week, I got, what are you doing with that blanket?
Don't worry.
Okay. My schedule has just been so messed up because like I can't sleep. And
you're not taking advantage of the hours that you're awake at night?
I'm so exhausted. I am, like, I'm watching stuff. And I've thought about playing stuff, but the hope is that I will pass out.
Right, and if you play or watch something, you'll stay up.
Yeah, well, if I watch something, I might pass out, but if I play something, it's not going to happen.
Right.
So, because it's for anyone who doesn't have the context, it's due to an injury. So the injury is keeping me awake, and I just won't go into the details because it's boring, and I've talked about it before.
It's not boring, Brett. Your health is important to us.
Yeah, I don't know. It's fine. I have a doctor's appointment tomorrow, and then maybe I'll have something more interesting to talk about next week. But
next week.
But my point is, I have like my brain's already like halfway through
Yeah,
October.
Brett, you have such a crazy life.
It's whatever. You know?
Work, family,
That's just
Christmas,
two things that a lot of people do.
school.
You're just naming. I don't go to school.
Soccer.
I go to soccer. I don't play it. I
High
play with jazz sometimes.
I see.
Tim, what's the first category we gotta go into tonight?
Wait, did you finish your thought you were talking about before though?
I don't. Who knows, dude? I'm rambling, and we have stuff to do. So
Okay.
whatever. Let's get past it.
Let's go into news.
News. All right.
Do you have a thing yet for
I
it?
still didn't make it.
Okay.
Actually, let me complete my thought on that.
Yeah.
The past week has been so rough. My brain is so all over the place. I didn't make a transition for this.
Wow.
I didn't take any notes for this week in our shared note, as I'm sure you noticed. But I do have stuff. Don't worry, guys. It's going to be a great episode. We love you. Thank you for being here.
Yeah.
And I lost, like, as silly as I didn't download my last Resident Evil stream from Twitch before it disappeared.
Oh, no.
So there's a whole third chapter, and that was a really good playthrough.
Oh.
It's completely gone.
That's the thing. Your vacation was 3 weeks. You were gone for a week, but it's the week before and the week after where it's all just like you still are in recovery mode.
The worst part is I thought about it a couple days ago.
Shoot, I wish you told me. I could have done it.
And I could have done it a couple days ago. I thought about it, and I was like, you know what? I was exhausted because it's like work's
How long
been
do
hard.
they last for? 2 weeks?
I think it's 2 weeks.
Because for me, it's a month, but I don't know if you have to be affiliate for it to be a month.
I wonder.
But you are affiliate, actually. So.
I am an affiliate.
Yeah.
But it's definitely because realistically, I think that was only like a couple weeks ago. It was the Friday before we left.
Yeah, it was right before you left. I don't know.
So I don't know why it's gone already. Actually,
it shouldn't be gone. But it was funny actually. I was looking for my friend Mango stream the other day because I missed it, and I swear it was like a week and a half later, and it was gone too. I don't know why.
I wonder if that changed.
It should be 2 weeks. It's 2 weeks up to a month, and I don't know. It used to be if you're affiliate, it would be a month, or if you're subscribed to Amazon Prime because it's through Twitch, I guess. Or Amazon owns Twitch, so
yeah.
So I don't know. It shouldn't be on.
Yeah,
there is. I think there might be a way to recover it, but
yeah, I'll look into it. I mean, worst case scenario, I'll just put a little disclaimer on YouTube because it's just to post the VODs.
Yeah.
But the third stream was a long one.
Yeah,
it was really fun.
You want the whole content together.
Yeah. So then I'm like, do I just stop or?
No, you don't stop.
Yeah, I know.
You would stop the stream because you can't upload.
Not the stream. The stream. I'm just like, do I not upload them to YouTube?
Nah, always
just
upload.
Threw me off.
Always
It's
upload.
dumb. But anyways, all that to say, I don't have a transition for news yet. I do have an isolated sound that I'm going to edit and turn into our transition. I just haven't done it yet. So here we are at the bulletin board.
Dun-dun-ba-dun-da-ding.
No, don't make a new one.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Oh, we're at it.
Here we are.
Okay. See, you always pause when we get to a new thing, so we didn't do it, and I got confused. Okay. We have 2 news things to talk about.
Yeah.
The first is, it's news. It's pretty much news.
Okay.
The sudden rise of deep fake ads. Have you seen anything about this?
Yes, I saw one the other day. Actually, I don't think it was an ad. It was like a fake news story about a comedian.
Oh.
And it put his face, it was Theo Von, for anyone who's familiar with Theo Von, on like an old, I think the whole thing with the news story was that he started as a singer. And it put his face on like these old singing videos on late night shows and stuff. And I mean, you couldn't tell it wasn't him.
Yeah.
And it was like there was him sitting down during an interview. I actually still am not sure if that interview was real or not. But what's the thing with ads? Like,
so this is actually like the culmination of all the things that's been going on with the AI. So deep fakes have been around a little bit before AI.
Yeah,
and
I've seen some really good ones too.
Yeah, and if people don't know what that is, that's essentially where you take a picture of someone's face or a video of someone's face and you put it on top of a video of another person.
Yeah.
And usually it's just the face. So like the hair will be the original video and facial hair and all that. So, well, facial hair is a little weird, but anyways, it would be like layered. Anyways, you get layered on top, and we're getting to the point where it's super difficult to tell the difference between just a normal video and a deepfake.
Yeah.
But also the rise of AI voices.
Yes.
Have led to the point where people are creating fake ads of their voices being turned into AI and the videos being deep fakes. So the biggest one recently was Mr. Beast. Someone made an AI video of him offering a free iPhone 15 if you sign up for this website.
Oh.
And it's like, it's a phishing scam. It's like, you know, someone from another country who just made this video and started posting it everywhere. But the profile that posted it also is has a Mr. Beast picture.
Yeah.
Like, it is so ridiculously like convincing. You wouldn't
calculated.
know. The video itself is definitely a little off. I think if I was scrolling like through like Twitter or Facebook or whatever, and I saw it, I would be like, there's something fishy about this.
Right.
But it's you know, a lot of other people don't have the trained eye and they wouldn't see it.
Right. It's just good enough for people that aren't looking for it.
Right. And be like, oh, well, I want to be in a Mr. Beast video or whatever.
Of course.
So Mr. Beast is the big one. Tom Hanks also has been used for ads.
Wow.
Again, these aren't real ads. These are like tricks and stuff like that.
So it's like small companies or phishing scams that are trying to make it look like celebrities are endorsing them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so and you know, that's the whole reason for the writer's strike and everything, where the actors got involved, because AI is like, we're on the forefront of it.
Yeah.
So that was the whole reason for it, is they don't want their likeness to be used in these things, and then they don't get paid for it.
Right.
Or not paid enough if they decide that's okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that's, I mean, that is probably the scariest thing. Like, I'm not in a position where I feel like my job or livelihood is threatened by, you know, no one's going to steal my likeness.
Right.
And that must be crazy as an actor or someone with a major platform like that, where just your face and voice add value to something, and now that can just be taken.
Right. And people could just take it and use it for
wild.
whatever. Yeah, because, I mean, not only the benefits of using it, don't worry about the burp.
Your verbal punctuation.
My body makes it for me.
Yeah.
But not only is it like, you know, in this case, it's still something that isn't terrible, but it'll get to the point where people will make like fake videos of people saying terrible things and like trying to get people canceled.
I didn't even think about that. That's going to be bad, because one thing that has happened, like one of the more nefarious things, is there has been, I want to say this happened to a streamer or something like that, but someone deep faked this woman on like adult videos, and she was like devastated because it was so well done.
Was it Pokimane?
Maybe.
It's happened to a lot of streamers, but yeah, but there were some that were way
of
bigger
course,
than others.
That's like, it's the tech community. So people are going to be capable of it.
Yeah. And that's where deepfakes have initially hit problems, is there people are putting a ton of different women on, you know, dirty videos and stuff like that, adult videos. And so there was a big stink about it. And nothing really happened from it. Like, people are still making deepfake videos, and
it's so hard to police the internet in general. And like that one in particular, that's like one of the most, I mean, that's terrible. That's like I hadn't really thought about it until, and like, of course that happens with celebrities and stuff like that. I you know, but I remember seeing a video about this streamer. I forget again which one in particular it was, but she was so broken up over it and just feeling like even though it's not her, the fact that it's out there, and like, that is just so now there's like I said, it's taking people's value and just stealing that from them and using it however they want to. That's the other thing. It's so manipulative, and I didn't even think about that aspect. Like, on one hand, it's like, all right, you're taking someone's likeness, you're taking Tom Hanks and having him do an ad that he never did. That is already like awful.
Right.
The idea that they could make him say something that's like cancelable in a video that might not be very easily debunked is like, that's terrifying. Like,
technology, as it, you know, progresses over time, it'll just get better and better.
Yeah.
And we'll eventually not be able to tell the difference. I think we'll hit a point where it'll be so realistic.
Yeah.
That will be like, did they really say that?
Right. And the unfortunate thing is, do I think this? I think people are so what's the word, volatile, maybe, so reactive on the internet, that there is a very strong chance that even if a deep fake video of someone doing or saying something cancelable came out, and then that video was debunked like a week or a month later, there would already be a lot of permanent damage to that person's like
Yeah, it's too late because the internet
reputation. That's the word.
The internet never forgets, and they'll never check back. They'll see one tweet about it and be like, "Oh, that guy's a jerk."
Yeah, and it wouldn't surprise me if people on the internet held on to whatever their reaction to that video was. You know what I mean?
It'll be like a rumor, and people will just believe it forever,
right?
Even if they don't do the research to check things out.
Yeah, which
you
is
know, like everything with Justin Roiland. He ended up being. I don't think he got convicted for anything.
Oh, really?
I gotta double check. I could be wrong, but not to say he's innocent. I mean, it sounds like he did a lot of awful things. But like, you know, everyone will just forever think of him as a creep, and whether or not he is, I mean, again, I gotta double check it. But it's just fascinating that people won't follow up and see like where they ended up. Yeah, you know, even like Chris D'Elia, he got canceled for a ton of stuff.
Yeah,
and, I mean, granted, again, that was kind of. He did bad stuff.
Yeah, he's still at it. Like, you know, I'm just seeing comments and stuff like that. I still see people who are like, "So glad you're back," and then people who just make like these terrible jokes about him.
Yep.
And I'm like, man, that he does have that attached to his character.
Yeah,
like
forever. And it's not like it wasn't a thing, but people will just. You need one bad thing about that, and people, no matter, you could do 100 good things, the one bad thing will always stick.
And I think because that's the way the internet operates, even if they're fake, it will have an impact. So that's definitely a scary thought for sure. Wild.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. So keep your eyes open for that. It's more of just on the rise, because I think because it's getting some popularity, the Mr. Beast one. Yeah, I think people are going to start getting the idea for it.
That's the thing, man. Like one criminal succeeds in a thing, and other people are like, I can do that.
I can do that. You it's easy. I'm sitting at home doing nothing.
For sure.
So yeah, that's just an interesting technological thing.
That is an interesting technological thing.
And the other thing, and we alluded to it a little bit, but the strike is over. The writer's strike.
Oh, it is.
The actor's strike.
I didn't know that.
Oh, you didn't know that?
No.
Hold on, let me pull up the.
I did not know that.
Yeah, it's officially over. I had a list of the strike, what their demands were. Not demands, but.
This is the music to Tim thinking and researching.
I'm just trying to find update. There we go. Hollywood writers, no.
Oh, I thought you found.
I did. You finished.
I did the worst drum roll I've ever done in the history of drum rolls for you.
It was really good. I heard it. It was great.
Did you find it?
I did.
All right, let's go, dude.
So I lost it. I thought I had it.
I don't know, dude.
Shoot. This is why we do research on things, Brett. But long story short, it ended up resolving in the actors' favor. You know, actors and writers,
actors and writers.
Yeah. They ended up coming out with a really good benefits for them, including no AI art and scripting and stuff like that getting in the way of their stuff unless they approve it.
Yeah.
And the one of the biggest outcomes on top of everybody getting what they want is lots of shows are being canceled and streaming services are getting more expensive. Because they need to make their money somewhere else now that they're not stealing it from the rich people getting richer. Yeah. So Netflix is already planning on a price hike, which they just did recently. And various shows have been canceled. Nothing that I know of, but because they can't afford to take chances anymore, some have said.
So the strike ends in favor of writers and actors.
Yes.
But the general public
is hurt.
We're basically giving them more. We're covering the writers and actors.
Right. They're making us suffer by making things. Now, I mean, obviously, this is just like maybe Netflix had really poor timing and planned on raising it, and maybe these shows were going to be canceled anyways. But it seems to happen pretty quickly. Yeah. Don't get me wrong, I'm happy for them.
Me too.
And
I am too. It's the system.
Yes.
I'm not mad at the player, I'm mad at the game.
Mad at the game.
I can't afford the doctor's appointment I'm going to tomorrow. And Netflix is like, "Oh, we'll just cancel this show.
Let's just cancel the show.
Still make the money we're making."
And you still have to pay $20. Yeah. Because what is it right now?
I don't know.
16, 17?
So I actually have a pretty good deal through T-Mobile.
Oh, good.
It's like $3 a month.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I think that has gone up a couple of times. Mm-hmm. So I might, but I still think I'm in single digits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, then you don't got to worry about nothing.
Yeah. Well, it'll probably go up again, but it just goes up incrementally.
But if it's only $3.
Yeah.
You know, you're just spending 4.
Yeah, are they up to 20 now?
They might be. I don't know if they said what it's
Bro,
going to be, but
that ish is wild.
Yep. So it was 148 days that they were on strike for.
Wow.
148 days without content being made, but stuff was still coming out, so it's so weird.
Dude. Yeah, it just felt like there was no, especially if you like listen to a lot of podcasts, or it's not. I mean, there were new shows done and scheduled to come out. Like Skull Island came out, and I don't know. It didn't.
And I mean,
like there was a stop.
All the things this month: Goosebumps and
yeah,
the House of Usher, Fall of the House of Usher.
I don't know.
Okay, well, lots of shows. And
What
stuff.
is that? Is that the new Flanagan?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep, the new Flanagan. But yeah, good. I'm glad for them.
That's good. Yeah.
And I'm curious to see what other things we may lose or
all
how
that
expensive
means
things are.
is when we make our way into writing and acting.
Yep.
It's gonna be fair for us.
Right.
We don't have to, because the forefathers
they
fought
sacrificed
for us.
Yeah.
And now it's the way is paved.
Yep.
And we can say we won't stand for any of this AI stuff.
Yeah, right. AI stuff.
You know what I mean? We'll say it bold like that.
Yeah, bold with strength.
With strength.
Mm-hmm.
Strengthen our. You want to go to TV?
Yeah, let's go to TV.
Cool. There's a hair in my nose.
Well,
like from this.
Oh.
I need to. Do you use this every week, huh? This is yours.
How do you know?
This feels like it.
What was Susie saying?
Susie, what's up?
Hi, Susie. As soon as I heard about deepfakes, I instantly thought about people being discredited or set up for cancellation, especially with elections and things. It's terrible. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I didn't think about that.
And again, the voices, I think, really will add credibility to it.
Yes, for sure.
Like the idea of people being products, not an old concept, but even more so. Yeah.
Takes it to a new level.
Ugh.
First impressions are forever cemented. Then they move on to the next person. Yeah, exactly. I know.
Yep.
They're just like, this is now my person. Like, instead of being a fan of Crystalia, now I'm a fan of this comedian. And you better not screw up, or else I'm out of here.
Or else I'm gone. Yeah. And in today's world, you need everybody to like you. If you want to, you need that first impression to be great.
That's why I'm just waiting for Tim to screw up so I can have this podcast.
Well, you'll just get the up part of it.
No, dude.
Yeah, you're gonna be the up podcast.
I thought I got the keep.
Nope, I got the keep. Trash.
Ready?
Yeah, TV.
I feel like we haven't been in TV for a little while.
I have not watched a show in a millennia.
And this is cool because this actually, to tie it in, the day I got back from vacation.
The day Brett got back from vacation.
You were at my house. I like how you went like Jamaican with it.
The day Brett came back from vacation.
Deck the horse with pepperoni.
La 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 la.
You were, you forgot to get a gift for Splinter.
I knew it was
sorry.
coming to
I
that.
couldn't. I'm trying to hold it down, but I couldn't.
It looked painful.
It was.
You were like swallowing.
It felt good to get it out though. Tim was watching The Kids.
Yes. We didn't even talk about that.
No, we didn't talk about
Anything.
So I came home and Tim was at the house, and
Brett, when can you burn your couch?
I love my couch.
I'm gonna buy you a couch for Christmas.
Why don't you like that couch?
Not only
You don't even like sitting on it?
No, it like sucks you in. It's like a vacuum.
That's great.
It's so sinky.
Well, I mean, we've beat the crap out of that thing. Like, we've had it for a while.
It's
and Jazz lives in that one corner.
That corner. So I sat in the corner on the like, I don't know, the left side. When you're sitting on the couch, the left side.
Yeah.
And then I sat in Jazz's corner. You literally sink in like 2 extra feet.
His little body, he just like smashes it into the corner.
He does.
And he just sits there and leans on his iPad and watches YouTube.
It's the spot.
Dude, when he in the morning, he gets ready for school, sits in that spot.
Yeah.
Goes to school, comes home, sits in that spot. Goes to soccer, comes home, sits in that spot, eats dinner, goes back to that spot. He loves it.
It's crazy.
I was telling Rach today I'm taking his Xbox because he has the newest console in the house and he never touches it.
He's sitting upstairs. Yeah, I brought it down and we played on it while I was there, but bring it down. Put your Xbox up there.
I probably will. He won't even notice.
He won't even.
I should just do it. He'll just be like, why is this black? I thought it was white.
Oh, weird.
So I came home. Kids went to bed because it was a school night. Rach went up to bed, and I was just we had just traveled for like 12 hours, so it sounds like I should crash immediately.
Right.
but I was like a little bit awake, and Tim was there and was spending the night unexpectedly. So I was like, what should we watch?
What should we do? We have a rare opportunity together. Brett and I are never together.
No, never. I don't even know who this guy is.
He's a freak.
And what?
Huh?
We didn't watch a trash movie.
We didn't.
Which is typically our move.
That was the upper, but it wasn't really like a movie type of situation.
No, it wasn't, because it was pretty late. So we decided on Skull Island.
Skull is land.
From, I don't know how much of the team, if it's the full team who did Castlevania, but
not the same director.
Right, that's true. Maybe same animation team?
Gotta be.
Yeah. It is in the Monsterverse. It's an 8-episode miniseries on Netflix.
Yes.
So we watched 2 episodes. I was what's the word? Happily surprised.
Yes.
By the gravity of the first episode. Gigantic beasts and blood and adventure, some of which beyond what I expected.
Yes.
And I didn't really know what the tone was going to be, and as far as I can tell, you've definitely finished it. Yes. I finished it literally this morning.
Oh,
at
perfect.
like 3:30 in the morning.
Oh.
And I told you I can't sleep.
Yeah.
So at this point, I'm still. Well, no, it's not in the same universe as the movies right now, or it's not the same story.
Right. I think it's the same Kong.
Yeah.
And the same island.
Yes, but it's not.
But I can't tell when it takes place.
That's the thing. Could this be somewhere in the timeline of the current Monsterverse?
Yeah, I mean, it's more modern. They have cell phones and stuff.
Yeah, I know, but in terms of what's happened, and so far the Monsterverse movies, for anyone who doesn't know, we had, was it, what did we say, 2014 was Godzilla?
Yeah.
And then it was Skull Island, and then Godzilla King of the Monsters, and then Godzilla versus Kong.
Yes.
So this one, I agree, it's the same Kong, same Skull Island, but I don't think it's in that. Like, I didn't know if this was going to be like a side quest of the current movieverse, but I feel like it's just its own thing.
Yeah, because I can't place where it fit in the timeline if it's like if it's like a year later after the events. But no, because how King Kong, well, not King Kong, but Godzilla versus Kong.
Yeah.
How that one ends.
Yeah, this couldn't take place after
It couldn't,
that.
yeah.
If anything, this would have to take place after Skull Island, the movie,
but
and before Godzilla.
Yeah.
Which is possible. This could be an isolated event.
Yeah, I don't know if they said specifically what year it was.
Yeah.
Not that it matters per se.
No, but I was just curious when it came out, because we do have, I forget what it's called, the Monarch show that's coming out on Apple TV.
Yes.
In November. So
that's soon.
Yeah, it's very soon. So I didn't know, they're obviously like kind of growing that universe. So I didn't know if this was part of that. But yeah, we watched 2 episodes together. Have since finished it. Yep. Was your overall take?
I thought it was great.
Yeah, I really liked it.
I didn't. The characters didn't grow on me initially.
Yeah.
Because they felt very like. I guess that's how I'd be in that situation. But they were like cracking a lot of jokes. And even though they were like severely injured, they're like, haha.
Yeah.
You know, so there was like a weird tonal thing for a little while. But then I started to like them more in the tone and like how the comedy was good in between all the sadness.
I was similar. It almost wasn't until the injuries got like as bad as they possibly could that I was like, nah, this feels right. Yeah. Which is weird, but I almost needed the stakes to be more severe and for the jokes to persevere through that. Right. For me to be like, yeah, that's just how they would be.
Right. Like they squeeze jokes into like Marvel movies, even though it's like world-ending situations.
Right. Exactly. And our main characters that we get in the first episode, it's 2 fathers and 2 sons, and the sons are best friends. They're all used to going on these sea voyages looking for these monsters, or something that one of the fathers, who is a scientist, both of them are scientists, saw one time in the ocean, and he's not sure what it was, but he believes there's something out there.
It's always about the chase.
Always about the chase.
Yep.
And then enter some unknown players by the end of the first episode. And
yes.
I mean, the first episode that might have been Can I say it was my favorite episode?
Dude.
I had like the
Episode 7?
Oh yeah, 7 was crazy.
Oh my god.
That was with the chameleon things?
Yeah.
No, you're right. 7's probably
6 was really good too, but 6 was super sad. So was 7, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, what I will say, so this show is like, I mean, the longest episode's 26 minutes.
Yep.
The majority of them are 20 to 22. Absolute keeper. Full recommend, because there's so much story told in such a short amount of time.
Yes.
Even relationships that I'm like, is there like a thing going on there? And whether it's a strong friendship or a romantic relationship, even some that are a little bit ambiguous, but it's just really like, it's really nicely done and subtly done. And even though it's subtle, there's some real importance on those relationships. I'm being a little bit vague, obviously, but there are details that are paid attention to in such a short show. I mean, it's 8 episodes that I guess culminate in the length of a movie.
I guess a little bit longer, but
yeah, and they do a lot with a good amount of characters. I mean, by the end of the show, we're probably even only human characters. You're dealing with what? 6 main characters. Then you get the monsters in there.
Yeah.
That adds at least 2 that are actually key characters
that you can talk to.
Yeah, right.
I the only thing I wasn't sure of, and you get the answer by the 8th episode, but I wasn't sure if it was just going to be one season or multiple.
Right.
And I've noticed this as a trend with a ton of these short shows. Cliffhangers, man. Cliffhangers.
Do you think it's because they don't know if they're going to get to make another season?
I guess it could be just the short length in general, that they have a story that they probably wrote for like 12 episodes.
Yeah.
And Netflix is like, we'll give you 8.
Well, because they'll do the thing like this happened with Wednesday. It came out, obviously it exploded.
Yeah.
And then shortly after, by the time I watched it, which was a few months after it came out, at the end of it, it says season 2 is coming. And it's like, I don't think they know that at first. I think the weird thing with streaming is they have to see what the response is first. And then all right, you can make another one.
Crazy.
You know, because Castlevania did the same thing. It was 4 episodes.
Castlevania was crazy when they did that. Yeah.
Insane.
Yeah, because and that one ends on a cliffhanger too, and you're like, excuse me?
Yeah.
But yeah, 8 seems to be their happy medium, because I think 4 ended up being too short. People didn't like, they were done with it. But yeah, I mean, I believe One Piece is 8 episodes. Sonic Prime was 8 episodes.
Yeah.
And again, cliffhangers. Although I didn't watch One Piece, I don't know where that ends. But yeah, so like it's a what's the word? It's like a catch-22. Like, I love the really short series. I'm like, oh, I'll crack through this in a weekend.
Sure.
And then it's like cliffhanger. Got to wait a whole year to finish the story. I'm like, no.
I know, and I guess that's the thing is like I would like to know that we're gonna get a season.
Right.
After that, you know what I mean? Because not knowing, it's like, oh shoot, like I just know sometimes it doesn't happen. Sometimes that's all you get.
Yep.
And it's a cool, contained story, but there's definitely more to be told. And like just,
all right, we got to see more.
Yeah.
But overall, it's a super great watch. Animation's awesome.
Yeah.
Voice acting's super good.
Really good. Yeah.
It's everyone nailed it. So yeah, if you like Kong, if you like monsters, and want just like, it's a quick, again, 8 episodes, it's a weekend show. You'll get through it in no time.
Totally. And I also think it feels, because Castlevania is very adult. This one's more PG-13, just because some of the violence, but honestly kind of lands at a PG.
Yeah.
Most of it. So it also fulfills that if you're just a fan of cartoons, it has that energy to it as well.
But I don't think I'd watch it with kids.
No?
Well, because like, people get ripped apart and blown up.
Yeah. I mean, realistically, there's only like a couple.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm not saying with kids necessarily. Yeah. I was just saying, like, we like cartoons.
Right.
And this had, like, Castlevania fulfilled a certain thing in me. Like, you know, I like
bloodlust.
Yeah, I like dark animation, and I like monsters, and I like the whole like landscape of the Dracula story.
Yeah.
And they kept it as dark as I think something like that needs to be. This I could almost see watching like in like a Toonami block, or like maybe WB if it was one of the less bloody episodes. You know what I mean? Like Batman the Animated Series. It had that like cartoon vibe. A lot of because of the jokes and the characters. So maybe not with kids. But
just watch it.
Just watch.
Just watch it.
Do you have anything else on TV?
No, but I'm going to start Wednesday soon.
Oh, you've never seen it?
Mhm.
Yeah. Oh, dude, that's cool that you made it to this.
To Halloween.
Yeah,
to
because
the October.
They did. I don't know if they're doing it again. Is season 2 coming out this year?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I don't know nothing.
I don't know either. But last year it came out in November, and I remember being really annoyed about that because I was like, why?
Why
It
in
seemed
November?
So
Yeah.
obvious that I don't know. Whatever.
But maybe if people wanted to keep the vibes going.
yeah, right. That's
Because I'm trying to, and we'll talk about it more in movies, but I'm trying to watch something scary or scary adjacent every
Yeah.
night. So Castlevania and Wednesday are on my TV list.
cool.
And then movies, just whatever I can find.
Dude, do you have Max, HBO Max?
Yes.
Did you see what they just added?
No.
Just so much stuff. They just added so much stuff, like Trick or Treats on there.
Netflix had a bunch of cool stuff they added too.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
I sent you the list, right?
Yes.
If
Yeah.
you guys, we mentioned it before, but if you follow Fangoria
Mhm.
on Instagram, they put out a list every month of all the horror movies that were added on every streaming platform. Very, very good resource.
Mhm.
So speaking of movies,
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Movies.
Keep it off for a second. I gotta buy some new headphones. I'm so mad those other ones.
Yeah. What happened to him? The wire was just rough.
Yeah, the wire was wonky. I couldn't really trust it. And they were old. I've had them for like, it's probably been 6-7 years.
That's a pretty good time.
Yeah. When I say mad, I'm not really that.
Oh, I think you're pretty mad.
I mean, I'm angry, but
Dude, why are you mad, bro?
I forgot I watched that.
Wow. So handy, so close to Christmas.
What is?
What is Mango? The list? Hi, Mango.
Oh yeah.
The list? Yeah. You want to watch scary movies forever.
Yay.
Yay.
Hi, Mango. Lol.
Because Halloween movies?
Yeah, dude.
Forever. What do you got?
I don't know.
Oh, you're just
I
doing
thought I was
things.
stuck on something.
But Mango, I hope you're doing good. I hope you're doing lovely.
I also hope that it's not just Tim.
No, Brett was silent.
Dude,
I get it.
Hi, friends.
Hi,
Oh,
friends.
this reminded me of a funny story.
Oh.
Do you want me to tell it?
Brett's gonna tell a funny story.
You want me to?
Yeah.
Tim just reminded me of a funny story because he said hi to our friend Mango, and he said something nice, and then I didn't want to not say it, so I said it. And
Right.
it just reminded me of there was this time where I was in like elementary school, I think. No, maybe it was middle. I don't know. I was young, and me and my friend had a crush on this same girl.
Uh-huh.
And we got on like a phone call. My friend was over my house, and we called the girl, and she was like, I can't decide. Like, it was that kind of thing
Yeah.
that like, I don't know how that happens in adulthood because
Mhm.
I've been married for 15 years, so I'm like out of the game. But I don't know what that equivalent is. But like, it's so ridiculous that a friend and myself were next to each other, literally handing the house phone back and forth to each other. And she was like, I can't decide. Why don't you guys tell me like what you like about me?
Oh my God.
And so I went through a list of like, I was like, I think you're so pretty and you're fun to hang out with, and we like some of the same music and like whatever else I said.
Yeah.
And I handed it back to my friend, and I was like, here you go, man, like it's your turn.
Good luck.
And he was like, I think you're pretty, I think you're fun, I think you're smart. And I was like, I can't believe I didn't say smart. Like, it seemed like the obvious thing on the list. And so I was like, also smart, I meant smart too. And he was like, no, you forgot smart. Like, as if one of us saying smart, she was gonna be like, oh damn, I was gonna go with Brett, but
That's what I was looking
he
for.
thinks I'm an idiot. So
Who'd she end up picking? You remember? Neither.
I think, you know what's funny? I think she went out with my friend.
And you end up marrying her.
And that's Rachel.
And that's
No.
Rachel.
No, what I was gonna say is I think, yeah, no, she dated my friend. I can't remember who the friend was.
So
Weird.
neither of you. A different friend.
No,
the friend.
I just can't remember who was next to me.
No.
I can't remember who I was on the phone to.
You remember the story, but
Yeah.
I hope they're listening and they're like, that was me.
That's weird.
Mhm.
That's such a funny thing. Yeah. She's just sitting there getting compliments. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you like about me? Anyways.
Hey, that must have been, is that good for her self-esteem or
I
bad?
hope so. I mean, to have a couple of guys fighting over you.
Yeah.
You know? Just I can't choose. Yeah, whenever you have choices, I feel like that's...
Yeah, it's like a
You
good
know.
thing.
Yeah.
Mango said he was making soup. When's the last time? You know what? It's been almost like 100 years since I've had chicken noodle soup.
Rach made some the other day.
All I have is ramen. That's my soup now.
I was just going to say it's ramen soup.
Ramen soup for
Ramen
sure.
soup, yeah.
But I haven't made chicken noodle in forever.
You dump out all the soup, though. You just eat the noodles.
In chicken noodle, nah, I keep the broth.
No, I know, but I'm saying with ramen.
Ramen?
Like, if it's soup,
I
you
leave
dump out
like a
all the
little
soup.
bit at the bottom so my noodles don't get like
Yeah.
Crunchy.
That's like, imagine you make chicken noodle soup and you drain all the broth.
I would do that sometimes.
You do it with tomato soup.
Although mom makes Italian wedding soup, so with what, tomato soup?
It's just, I know you guys usually put noodles in your tomato soup, right?
Yes.
Which I actually love.
Yeah.
But a lot of times, like when I have had tomato soup, there's no noodles in it.
That's so
So
sad.
I'm just thinking about cooking it up and then pouring it all.
It's like,
through a
well, I don't want the
strainer.
broth. I just want the noodles. Nothing.
Oh. So I watched Beetlejuice.
Okay. We saw it in the theaters, you remember?
We did.
We did. You said that so weird.
Because for some reason,
You did? Oh, gosh.
I didn't say it like goofy. Oh, yeah.
You did?
I did. I
Oh,
what the?
oh.
That is not what I
I can't
felt
wait to
like.
hear it back.
I'm gonna wait. I can wait. I
What
was, I was trying to remember recently if we saw it in the theater.
That was my first time seeing it.
When did we go?
When it was in the theaters?
But was it at Chunky's?
Chunkies.
Did you like it?
Yes.
Yeah. you
Yes.
did. So, okay. So we were watching it with the kids. The kids have never seen it.
Okay.
And they're at an age now where they can handle it. It's nothing crazy in that one, but
Just
there
the
are
faces.
bro.
Mhm.
Those are the best. The effects in this movie are so good.
Yeah.
And I say that if you go and watch it and you've never seen it, they're very dated, except the stop motion and the some of the gore effects are
Mhm.
actually very effective.
And very gory.
Yeah, I could have gone with another word. The one thing that's so funny, and we might have talked about this when we saw Beetlejuice before.
Yeah.
Because I'm remembering now that we did discuss it.
I think we went with Sarah, didn't we?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out Sarah.
Yeah. That's why I was trying to think of it, because I was just talking to her. She was saying how Halloween is going to be playing at Chunky's, and
The original?
I think they are playing Beetlejuice as well.
Right. You
And-
said his name 3 times. We're dead.
Oh shoot, did I?
Mm-hmm.
Well, he's just gonna bother us. He's just gonna be a pain.
Great.
Or no, he's gonna
He's gonna want
bother whoever we want to be out of the house.
Right. I want Brett out of the house.
I'm leaving after this.
No, you're not.
So the thing I always forget is how friggin' dirty Beetlejuice is.
Yes.
He's such a perp.
He really is.
He's such a perp. Like, I was watching it with the kids, and like when the kids are in the room with you, you notice the things. Like Rach and I always laugh about, get older, and then for us, like, so that movie's rated PG.
Mhm.
There's an F-bomb in it, and then he makes he's a little, I don't know if I can say that word. He's very harassy. And it's like pretty over the top, like
Yeah.
like manhandling Gina Davis, like
Mhm.
grabs her, and I'm watching it, and the kids are there, and I'm like, and it's just crazy that that's rated PG, because I
Mhm.
remember
That
you
was
know-
when the rating systems, there were no rules. Like, they tried to rate stuff.
yeah, they're
but
like, I don't know, throw some letters on it.
yeah, it's like, that'll
You know?
work. Because Titanic, isn't that PG-13?
Is it?
And you see boobas.
Well, I think you can contextually. You can see a couple of
Go
of
ahead, Brett.
boobs. Depending on what's going on in
Yeah.
PG-13.
Really? I don't know many where there are.
I think because in that one it's not like a sex scene or anything
Mhm.
like that. So I think that's why that slid. But I don't know. I could be wrong about that. But yeah, like going back and watching the Monster Squad and watching
That movie should be rated R.
right? And what's the other one? The Sandlot. There's like, I don't know, the kids swear a lot and just stuff that I'm like, man, I didn't think about this at all when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And it's probably not a big deal to them either, but it just makes you hyper aware of like, man,
That
Beetlejuice is a raunchy
He's
dude.
a freak.
And Keaton's amazing in that. Like, I don't know why, but just my appreciation for Michael Keaton has, I don't know, I feel like I didn't have enough appreciation for him.
Yeah,
And
I
so
didn't.
He's kind of in his renaissance now.
Yeah,
you
I was
know?
gonna say I didn't appreciate him until like maybe even like Spider-Man.
Sure.
You
Yeah.
know, I did see Birdman.
I did think Birdman was great.
Yep, that was really good. And then like obviously Batman and stuff, but I didn't really appreciate him as Batman until later.
Yeah. But I am so excited
Mhm.
to see him reprise the role of Beetlejuice.
Yes, with Beetlejuice 2, I don't know what the heck he's gonna do with that.
Because I was listening to another podcast, and they were pointing out, I should shout them out if you haven't heard of it, and you like horror, Hacker Slash, great podcast. And they were pointing out how young Keaton is in that movie. I mean, that was 88, I want to say.
How old was he in it?
I don't know, but it was, what is that, 35 years ago?
Right.
And he plays like a raunchy old man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
That's
Beetlejuice
true.
is like this rotting. He sounds old.
Yep.
He sounds like Keaton now.
Yeah.
Not that Keaton sounds like a rotting old man, but I'm just
You're
saying,
listening. I don't offend you.
yeah, Mr. Keaton. I'm so sorry. But just call him Keaton.
Yeah. That's how close we are as friends.
You guys played football together.
Yeah.
It was like a last name basis. So yeah, it's just I can't wait to see him reprise that role. And what was super crazy is my kids didn't even recognize Winona Ryder.
Oh.
And they knew. I was like, Joyce from Stranger Things is in this.
And they didn't like see her?
Dude, it happened. We watched like half the movie, and I was like, isn't it crazy that's Joyce? And they were like, wait, that's her?
Oh
and
my
like
God.
Lydia had been on screen like multiple times. But yeah, the movie's just, it's so good. And seeing it does make you want to watch all of Tim Burton's stuff if you're a Tim Burton fan.
Yeah.
You see that, the kids pointed out the sandworm has a design that also pops up in Nightmare Before Christmas.
I think the sandworm's actually in it at one point.
I think you're right. Yeah. Yeah, so it's just really great, and that was one of my first. I've watched a couple other spooky movies that we can touch on real quick, but I don't want to monopolize, so you go.
No, it's okay. We got lots of movies to talk about, so it's okay.
One other thing that's going to be quick.
Yes,
I had never seen 13 Ghosts, and I watched it. I downloaded like 6 movies because I had a lot of flying to do for vacation.
Yeah. Did you watch all the movies while flying?
Didn't. I watched 3.
Okay.
I watched The Flash. I watched 13 Ghosts, and I watched Funny People.
Okay.
Funny People's incredible.
Still haven't seen it,
but we can talk about that another time. If you're in a stand-up, which I know a lot of people are now, that movie, so good. Also, Adam Sandler's great. Just a good movie.
So we get it, Brett. You love Adam Sandler.
I do. He was so close to our house the other day.
He really was. Yeah, but the thing is, we didn't know he was there.
No,
he had to be there.
Dude, I have this thing. I was talking with Rachel about it. There are like certain celebrities that if I'm a big fan, I don't want to have a conversation that's like, hey, I'm a huge fan. I want to talk to them for like 5 minutes.
About what?
To like thoroughly describe in a not creepy way how like I want to encourage them in some way, like thank them for their art, something like that.
Right, like how can you encapsulate like a sentence with how much you like, because you also want to say something that they haven't heard a 1,000 other people say.
Because how people say like my toxic trait, mine is being pretty confident that I would be friends with almost any of the people that I like idolize.
Like if you could,
like if I were peers with them, or I played shows with the bands that I like, or I did stand up on lineups with comedians that I like. Yeah. That we would end up like being friends.
I think you could. I don't think that's a bad trait.
Thanks, man. But it just feels it feels like arrogant in a way, but it's like I would want to have like a friendship. Yeah. I hate the idea. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but I just like Adam Sandler is one of my favorite comedians of all time. Yeah. So if I were to ever have an interaction with him, for it to just be like, dude, I'm a huge fan, it like feels wrong. I'd rather not talk to him.
It might be the only chance.
I'd rather not.
The only chance in your life to talk to him, and that's what you say.
Right. I don't think I would. I think I'd. But what do you say? I think I'd pick a random thing and be like, dude, I had a Waterboy poster. Love you.
Love you, Dad. Call him Dad.
Dad, I mean, I don't know.
Who are you?
Start quoting random movies. But 13 Ghosts is the movie that I watched on the way home. And I bring it up because I'd never seen it all the way through. I'd definitely seen bits and pieces. It feels of its time. The monsters in it are very cool. Anyone who's unfamiliar with it, I know it was up there with like The Craft and Scream and the early 2000s horror stuff.
Like everyone watched it at least once just because it was like crazy.
Yeah. And there's the whole theme is that it focuses on this family, and there's this uncle who is a ghost hunter, and Matthew Lillard's in it, and he is hired as sort of a medium, a psychic, who is hunting down these ghosts. And once all of the ghosts are found, I think it's like immortality is granted to the guy. I forget.
You watched the movie.
I know. I don't know. Tony Shalhoub's in it. Shannon Elizabeth. So the makeup and the costumes and the ghosts are cool, but the whole movie moves really fast for a movie that could have a story that could have like a very Rod Digga's in it as well. There was a lot of like rappers in movies around that time.
Horror movies specifically.
Yeah, like wasn't Busta Rhymes in one of the Halloween movies?
Yeah.
And then, but also like martial arts movies. DMX was in one with Jet Li. I think.
That's such a weird like
I don't think I ever saw
crossover.
that.
I don't know why that happens.
I need to watch that because I love DMX and Jet Li.
Right.
So basically, I'm going to rush to the point here, which is that they're making a series, and I'm actually really stoked about it because I did enjoy watching it, even though it feels of its time. It feels dated in a way. I think in the script a little bit, in the pacing, and in the effects. And that's the thing that I'm excited about. Like, one, it's going to be a series. So you said it before when we were talking about it. You don't get a ton of backstory for each ghost.
Right.
And you can do that in a series. Two, I'm excited to see like updated effects because a lot of times in this, the way they kind of do jump scares and stuff is the monster will like appear, disappear, come back. It's like sometimes you can see them, sometimes you can't.
And it's like that again, the 2000s horror thing where they were like, check this out, it's all these cool different random shots.
Yes, right.
And they disappear.
Yeah, and they're like far away and then they disappear and they're right in front of you. And I think House on Haunted Hill, the remake, did that great where they didn't disappear and show up. They did that weird twitchy thing and then walk towards you really fast. Nightmare fuel, 100%. This, I would just love to see updated effects for all of the ghosts. That was definitely a fun watch. And all I can think of is I can't wait to see how this is updated.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a hot take because I know people really love that movie for what it is.
Yeah, but sometimes like updates and especially if they go like a different direction with it. And I mean, at the end of the day, you always have the original.
That's the thing. And this is one where I was like, there is more to tell and more to see here, I feel like.
So what are they calling it? Ghost Chronicles?
They better not, dude. As a new watcher, I would say 13 Ghosts is a keeper.
Okay.
Know the era that it's coming from, but it's a fun watch. Your turn now.
I know. That's one I got to revisit because it's, I always have a hard time watching movies that I watched when I was young because I'm like, well, I've seen it and there's so many other things I need to see. So,
I know.
But like, I think I like kind of remember how it ends and I remember some of the ghosts and stuff like that. So it's like, it is worth a rewatch.
If you ever need an excuse, well, I guess this won't work with horror movies.
What?
Maybe when they're older. I was gonna say, if you ever need an excuse to watch something, a bunch of stuff, just invite the kids over for a weekend because I rewatch stuff because I'm showing them.
Right, so you get the first time experience with them, and then you can watch it.
Because I do the same thing. I'm like, well, I've seen Monster Squad 100 times. Like, I need to watch new stuff. But I'm like, no, they haven't seen it.
Oh, well,
and then it feels productive.
So, are you doing a nightly watch of horror movies? Trying to?
I'm trying. Yeah, I'm watching as much as I can. I've brought it up before, but I'm the only one in the household. Well, it's not really true anymore. Actually, there's a line for what horror is acceptable for everyone in my house except me.
Yeah.
So I think Rach, I would say she watches more horror stuff and she does very much like she's stoked about the season. But she's not gonna sit down and watch like trying to think what I was gonna like Trick or Treat. She's not gonna watch that with me. Kids aren't ready for that.
No.
So I am definitely trying to watch something. Like last night we watched like this Halloween baking show. And then the other night when I couldn't sleep, I watched Army of Darkness. So I'm trying.
Yeah, the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
So I am trying to do that this year because like the previous years I've watched a couple horror movies. Yeah. But I'm like I'm just in a movie mood and I want to watch and shows. So like sometimes I might watch a couple episodes of a show. Like I still I said Wednesday in Castlevania. I got to finish Blind Manor too. And then Goosebumps is coming out and House of Usher and so there's a lot of good spooky stuff around. But I've been trying to watch everything every night. So we're 3 nights in. So I've watched 3 things.
I think I have 2. I think I'm at 3. Technically I started early because I watched 13 Ghosts on the way home.
As long as you watch 31 horror movies. That's the rule.
That's the goal.
That's the goal. Right? By if it's November, if you leak into November, that's okay.
How do shows count? You got to complete a show to add it to your list.
I would say 2 episodes.
That's what I had in my head too. I think
it's like a movie length, you know. But so far it's just been movies. So I started with the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
The original.
Yeah. Because I have never seen it.
You'd never seen it?
Never seen it.
Okay.
First time watching.
I saw it once, and it was a few years back. So it was a similar situation. My whole life without seeing it.
Yep.
Let's see what it's all about.
Exactly. Because my exposure to Texas Chainsaw, my original, was the 2003 remake.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
So I've seen that, and I remember as a kid, it freaked me out.
Me too. I think maybe not together, because we have too much of an age gap. You would have been like a fetus. But I
remember I watched it young, but I don't know how young.
In the theater?
I don't think so.
I think I saw that in the theater.
I think it came out 2003, so I would have been... what would I have been? 7, 8?
8. You were 95, right?
Yeah. I hope I didn't see it when I was
at
8.
I guarantee you did, dude.
No, you think so?
I bet you did.
I think I watched it at home, but yeah, we watched. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe
we watched
maybe
the craziest stuff.
Maybe it did. So it would have been. It was 03, you said?
Yeah,
So it would have been 16. So.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But yeah, I remember that one because it was so gory.
Yes, I remember specifically, and I always talk about it. I don't remember if it's a man or woman that gets hung up, but gets hung up on the hook.
It's a woman.
And the salt into the chopped off leg, and it's
that part.
I think it's a. I thought it was a guy.
Maybe you're right. Yeah. I was thinking there's another part because isn't there a girl who gets hooked?
And a lot of them get hooked.
Everybody's hooked.
That's the story.
Yeah, that's
that's the lore.
Sorry, it's a love story between hooks and special guests.
And Bubba, the Texas Chainsaw.
Yeah, the salt part, dude. That's funny. That's so vivid. I remember that too.
It's so just like meaty and raw.
Yeah.
So this movie, not like that movie at all.
No.
Yeah, it's so it does fall into my 70s movies are bad. View on life.
70s.
Dude, 70s movies, they're just gross.
Yeah.
So this came out in 1974.
Yeah.
What I will say is it's good. It is good.
Yeah.
It's got some moments that bleed into the 70s or gross mindset.
Sure.
But what's there is it's cool. It's subversive. It does things that I can't imagine have been done very much at that point.
Right.
With characters like, for instance, and I imagine it's been done, but there's a character who's in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
And his how the hell do you run away in a wheelchair in a horror movie?
That had crossed my mind when I was watching it too. I was like, why doesn't this feel familiar?
Yeah.
It happens in the Friday the 13th. I want to say it's 3.
And there's someone in a wheelchair.
Yeah, but obviously this was well before that.
Yeah. The only other one I can think of is Insidious, Skeleton Key or whatever.
Oh, sure.
And the girl's in a wheelchair the whole movie.
Okay.
I think it's a cool concept because you can't really like run away from the
yeah,
horrors.
it just changes the dynamic.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, that's so funny that you say that because I'm remembering now that I was watching. I was like, I don't feel like I'd say that. Like, what did I just say? I don't feel like I've seen that before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was just a cool choice that he was in a wheelchair. But yeah, so
which just real quick also speaks to a diversity issue. Not
so
just
we don't see many wheelchair people in wheelchair people. First the blind people and then the wheelchair. I'm sorry. I offend too many communities. You go, wheelchair folks. You do your best.
Wheelchair people.
Oh, shoot.
That's awesome.
People in wheelchairs. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's like all other horror movies. It's a group of teenagers going to a place they shouldn't go to.
Yeah.
But yeah, just with I don't know. It's got just like some kind of flair to it, some kind of where it's like it's gritty, it's gross. Like early on in the movie, they pick up this hitchhiker and he does a bunch of like gross, creepy stuff.
Yeah,
and it just sets the tone where you're like, Texas
you're uncomfortable.
Gross.
Yeah.
Texas in the 70s, the grossest. It's the worst.
Decade. Yeah.
But yeah, it's just it's impressive visually. I think it loses me in the second half. Because the first half's really strong because, again, they're, like, doing creepy things. Things are going on. They run into the Bubba, the chainsaw man.
Yeah.
And, they, as in horror movies, people get killed.
Mm-hmm.
But...
As one does.
There's, like, a turning point where he's chasing this one woman for, like, the rest of the movie. For, like, 40 minutes.
Right.
And it's cool, but it just feels like... It feels like they it should have been done way earlier.
Yeah.
Like the movie should have ended like 20 minutes like
Oh, it
did.
should have been finished earlier, you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is
gotcha.
that what I said?
You just said done, and I didn't know if you meant like it should have transitioned to him focusing on her earlier in the movie.
Gotcha.
But you were just saying it just felt like it ran.
Yeah,
too
well,
long.
I guess that would have been fine too if it was like if him focusing on her earlier in the movie, and then the other people around like figuring out what's going on. I think it might have came together better.
Interesting, yeah.
But what's cool with that extra bit that I say might feel too long, you do get more of an insight on just like the family. And that's a big part of the Texas Chainsaw series as you go on. It's all about the family.
Yeah.
So that's cool. You get more of them.
Yeah.
It just felt weird that it took you away from like the slasher chasing aspect to be more of just like a I don't know, a weird creepy moment.
Yeah.
But it's still a great watch, honestly. It's even with that like what feels like a long part at the end.
Sure.
The kills are cool. The creep factors there.
Yeah, it feels dirty.
It feels dirty.
It feels so filthy, and there's something that feels, I think part of what lends to its charm, I don't know if that's the word.
Right.
But there's something that feels really real about it.
Yes.
And that's why it's so uncomfortable.
Yeah, nothing felt like particularly cheesy other than like some line deliveries from the people. But but what they do and what happens is like, yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah.
That'll do it.
That'll do.
But I do want to watch, I don't know how deep I want to go into the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but I want to see at least the second one.
What else is there?
There's like A New Beginning and Leatherface, and
that's
it just goes on and on.
Those are all more recent though. Yeah,
there are recent ones, but I think originally there's either 3 or 4 of them.
Oh, and
then the lost one from Edward's movie and stuff. But yeah, I want to get like a little deeper into it, but not too deep. I want to like, put my hand in halfway and then after I see.
Well, because I've always heard, isn't the second one like a horror comedy?
Yeah, I think it goes in like a completely different direction.
And I cannot even imagine.
No, especially because the first one being like as weird as it is, but it does have like funny moments because everyone's wacky.
Yeah, that's true.
But it's I don't know. It's a cool, if you're a horror fan, it's a cool watch.
Did you see the seeds of Rob Zombie films and watching it, like how he took influence from that?
With certain things,
movie,
like certain like especially from the beginning, like with the picture the flashing light on all the gross bodies and stuff.
Yeah, I feel like the just the overall tone of that movie is echoed a lot in like Devil's Rejects and House of a Thousand Corpses.
Yeah.
That's all I was just saying.
No, it's a great point. I think, and that's cool where you see the like you said, the seeds of the zombie. But Total Keeper.
Seeds of the Zombie. That sounds like a 70s like
oh my god,
movie.
Yeah.
Seed of the Zombie.
Seed of the Zombie.
And actually the plot is disgusting, so let's move on.
Okay.
Yeah.
That for a fake is it a real movie?
I don't think so, but I just can imagine what it would be.
Gotcha. I see. No, I don't want to watch it.
It all flashed through my head.
I think you're like, wait a minute. But yeah, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, totally a keeper. Just if you're like me and you don't like the 70s stank, be ready for it.
So yeah, all right. Yeah. I was gonna say like what in it, because part of what you're describing about it's like what makes it scary.
Yeah.
Is I think what comes from 70s film. Like,
yeah.
It feels
that's why it works.
Grimy.
Yeah.
But, okay, but it works for this movie.
Yes.
For you. But
yeah.
Generally speaking, you don't like it.
I just don't like how things are filmed.
Gotcha.
I don't like how people act.
Right.
I don't like how they look.
Yeah.
It's the 70s are gross. The 70s are gross.
Right.
But I did watch another thing that wasn't gross at all.
Okay.
And I caught it on HBO Max because the cover for it was really just like caught my eye. Have you ever heard of a short film called Opal?
Opal.
Opal. And the cover is a claymation girl's face, and her eyes are huge, and there's like a door, like a door in her eyes shining.
Oh. I don't know.
Well, okay, don't worry about it then.
Right,
it's on HBO Max. So this was a Halloween Adult Swim special that they just like aired randomly, and I don't know if they actually had any promotion for it, but years ago, it was a while ago. But this is like a Adult Swim exclusive.
Okay.
But yeah, it was crazy. It was super super weird.
Yeah.
I like to find those like weird horror short films. Where they just like they pop out. I'm like, 17 minutes, I'll give it a watch.
Yeah, I like that too.
So yeah, it does this really cool thing where
strange looking.
All the characters' heads are claymation. and like gritty, gross 70s claymation. You know, that style, 70s style.
70s,
You know? But no, it's just really gross. But all their heads are put onto real bodies, but the bodies are shrunk to be the size proportionate to the show, to the movie. So the way they move and do stuff, it's with human bodies.
Oh.
So it looks super unsettling when anything happens. But the faces that they like mold into and change into and stuff is like, it's really horrific.
Dude, this is terrifying. You can look it up and just see screenshots.
Yeah. But the vibe it gave off was a Courage the Cowardly Dog episode, but for like adults. Like it was, you know how that will sometimes dive into like some creepy looking stuff or claymation or things like that.
Some of those episodes definitely caught me by surprise.
Yeah, so it feels like one of those episodes extended to just strictly about the monsters or creatures.
Yeah.
And the story itself's interesting. It's a little confusing. Like you're not exactly sure what you're watching.
Sure.
Because it's just like a bunch of wacky visuals and songs. There's a lot of songs in it.
Okay.
It's a horror musical, surprisingly.
Cool.
But it's a super fun watch, and again the claymation, you're like, ugh, this is nasty. But
that's very interesting. That contrast in like movement style.
Yes, and you'll like, it's striking. You'll see it.
How do you time the physical movements of your body?
I guess you would probably have to do the heads first.
I don't think so. I think
and then
the other way around.
Do your body.
Yeah, I think you act out the scenes and then you animate to the motions of the body.
I guess so.
But I guess either one. Because how do you act to the animation? You'd have to have a way to like watch it back or something.
Well, yeah, once it's done, you can watch it back, right? And then move your body.
But what are the heads on if the bodies aren't there yet?
Well, it's probably like green screen or something, right? A modern version of it.
They didn't have the color green back then.
It's not that old. It's not from the 70s.
When's it from?
Like 2018 or something.
Oh yeah, dude. Green was invented in 2020.
We haven't had green at all.
Color scientists were all home trying to figure out what to do next.
They're like, we got green.
Have we tried green yet?
Is this a thing? Yeah, 2020 actually came out, so your logic is flawed.
That actually kind of tracks.
Yep. But it was weird.
It sounds like something that come out the pandemic year.
Yeah, they're like, I got nothing better to do. So
dude, like first COVID and now this is out. What a nightmare!
I hate it here.
So worth a watch.
Totally, total keeper. Again, it's a short 16, 17 minutes.
Yeah.
And it's just a trip.
And it's on Max.
It's on Max. Yep.
Let's
go.
I kind of think that's the place to be. I will also say Hulu every year gets a bunch of bangers.
Yeah, they're hidden all over the place, but everything's got like a couple. You know what I was looking for was The Host. I've been dying to watch it.
You've got to watch The Host.
I know. So I saw it was on Hulu.
I can tell you right now. Oh, it's on Hulu?
Well, it said that, and then I went to Hulu and I couldn't find it. And then it said it was on Max, and I was like, cool, I'll go to Max. Didn't see it on Max.
What? Really?
So I don't know why it was saying it was on these places.
Have you ever seen Sleepy Hollow?
The one with Johnny Depp?
Yeah, like that's Tim Burton, right?
Yeah.
Is it good?
Yeah, I liked it.
I've never seen that. And that's on HBO as well.
Yes.
I saw it when we were watching Beetlejuice, because I watched that on.
Oh.
Dude, they got some bangers.
They got some good, yeah, Max got a lot of secret things there. But yeah, Sleepy Hollow, it's a good watch.
Cool.
Mm-hmm. I'll watch
This might be the year.
This is our year, Brett.
This is the year, dude.
This is the year.
We're running
what are we at?
Long, but
we had an hour already?
1:16.
Oh my god, okay.
What do you think about one more movie real quick though?
Yeah, let's talk about one more movie.
All right, so at I think it was 2 a.m. the other day.
Of course.
Couldn't sleep, so your boy was flipping around, and on Prime right now.
Yes.
Hell House LLC 3. Lake of Fire. Is currently streaming.
You know what? The funny that you say that. I was looking on Prime.
Yeah.
And I found Hell House LLC 3, and we had to pay for it. And I was like, that's weird. So then I was like, well, I'm not going to pay for it, so I don't care. Like, and so I started scrolling, finding other things. Then I found a separate Hell House
that was available.
3 that was available.
Dude, Prime is so weird.
It's so broken.
I don't understand.
It was like, watch now with Prime. I'm like, what do you mean? You just said I had to pay money for it.
And why would, if they're both on there, why would they not show you the available one first?
Right.
Like, what is the...
It's treated as two separate movies.
So
and
strange.
It wasn't like unrated or director's cut or anything. It's like...
Do you think it's because they're linked to so many other streaming platforms? Like,
it might be, but neither of them required me to go to like Shudder or anything.
Because they've always had that thing where it's like, it'll show you a movie and then you click it and it's like, this isn't available. I wonder if it's because Amazon is like the like it's also Amazon. So you could look up like movies on Amazon that you can't buy. You know what I mean? Like,
and then the app,
I don't know. Do they just have a listing for everything?
well, you can't, if you're using the app, it wouldn't show you like movies that you can buy
No,
delivered.
no. I just wonder if the interfaces are like crossed in that way, because it's the same thing with products. Like you can find products. So no, I hate them both, because you can find products on Amazon,
Right?
And you'd be like, oh damn, you can buy this, and then you go to it and it's like item is not available. I'm like, why is it here?
Why is it? Yeah,
I don't understand.
so dumb.
But did you watch it?
Did I watch what?
Hell House?
No.
Oh,
I saw it. I think I saw it to see the second one. I can't remember if I saw it or not.
You're definitely gonna watch them both. So, this is a Hell House LLC is a trilogy that there's actually a fourth one coming out, I believe.
Hell House LLC 4.
The next
Mutation.
generation.
Oh, dude.
And it focuses on this old abandoned hotel, which in the first one is taken over by a group of friends who want to create this epic haunt, and creepiness ensues. So overall, I'm a big fan of this trilogy. The third one is very different from the other two. I will say what is so cool is that every one of them literally just takes place in this house. And maybe that sounds obvious, but like, I don't know that I can...
It's the Hell House.
I know. I don't know that I can think of another movie, because they're all sort of found footage style. They're found footage films. I can't think of another, because like the Paranormal Activities were all different houses, different families.
That was the only place, the movies that I could think of that have a similar set in between all of them.
And it's like it's like not just similar, house. It's like the same parking lot. Like you're seeing different people in the exact same place. And this is not like a big budget movie by any means. So I just wanted to bring that up, because going to the third one, I'm like, wow, it makes the continuity so airtight.
Yes,
because it's like we're in the same place and
they're back again.
Yeah, and it is it's definitely an independent trilogy, and you feel that in some of the low budgetness, but it doesn't really take away from the movies, in my opinion. The first one is definitely my favorite. I think it's legitimately scary. The second one has some we talked about it, it was probably last year when I watched it or something, but it expands the world a little bit, because the bulk of the story takes place in the house, but there's also news stations covering what happened in the events of the first movie. And the acting in that is not great. So that kind of pulls you out of the found footagey vibes.
Yeah.
And then the third one, I actually think the acting comes back to like, it's all people in the house, except for a couple of talking heads. Like they go to people who are at this point, like, it's kind of like how Scream, the events of Scream are talked about throughout the Scream movies. The events of Hell House LLC, the first one, are talked about throughout the other two by locals and stuff like that. So the third one is this millionaire or billionaire who does this live interactive performance show, and he wants to have it in the house. But they're very aware that it's not safe and strange things have happened there, but he's taken every precaution to make sure everything's okay.
They always say.
Exactly.
That's what they always do.
And it basically gets you back into the house. What surprised me a lot is they do something with the story in this, because this is the type of movie where I feel like I'm just here for how else are they going to scare us in this house. I will say I think this movie definitely has the least amount of scares. And I think all of the best ones are used in 1 and 2. But I do recommend watching all 3, because it's, if nothing else, it's a wild talking point for how they basically wrap up the story. Because when the first one ends, it feels so isolated. And I think that's why it's my favorite. Like, I could revisit that one every year. But then in 2, you're like, oh, maybe there was more going on than just what happened. Like, they get into why that might have happened. And in the third one, it's like, oh, we have a complete story. Like, we have answers to questions. And there's a story thread throughout the third one that I found very surprising at the end. Like, something happened and I was like, are they doing what I think they're doing? And it was pretty wild, and enough of a curveball that I was pretty impressed. I was like, this is cool. Like, it retroactively makes the other two movies kind of have more meat to them. And I was really impressed by that. So that is on Prime right now. I have seen the other two fluctuate being available, so I don't know if they're all on there or not.
Prime's a lie.
But if you're in the spirit of the season and you want to watch something pretty spooky, I am notoriously a big fan of haunted house horror movies. I love that whole subgenre, and Hell House LLC is one of my favorites, and the other two I would say are worth tacking on. So
yeah, the first one crazy how much it impressed me.
yeah,
I think Edward suggested that, right?
yes, yeah, one of my favorite suggestions. I just like, because I had seen it, I'd been curious.
I had no idea it existed.
Yeah, I had just like scrolled past it, but it's you see some of those lower budget ones, and I think they're always fun, but they're always fun to check out because you never know what you're gonna get.
Right.
It's not some big studio behind it, so it's something that either is gonna be, it'll be fun for one reason or another.
Yeah.
It'll be a gem that has a lot of passion into it, or it's gonna be like a turkey murdering a family or something.
Or it'll have Sonic music.
That was a great one.
And it'll be the best of both worlds.
That's pretty good.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so what was that? Oh, I don't know. Whatever. We can that was a great Sonic music. We gotta move on.
we gotta go. We gotta move on with our lives.
We are at almost an hour and a half. It's our longest in a minute.
Yes.
That's what happens when we
have 2 weeks
week
of talking. And we didn't even talk, like I still have like 5 things to talk about.
You do? Is there anything else you want to do tonight, or
nope,
we want to? No,
good.
We'll call it. We do have a bunch of stuff to do tonight. So
yes.
Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. You know what? The special, so keep your eyes out. We're going to be posting a promo as we do annually for our October special. This is an episode that is fully generated by our audience, so we won't talk about anything on there that you guys didn't ask us to talk about.
Yep.
We'll do reviews. We'll tell your stories. We'll say in the promo what we're going to be covering, so you can leave a comment wherever you see that. We'll probably post it definitely on Instagram, maybe Facebook and TikTok as well.
Everywhere we can.
And wherever you see it, you can comment your response to that. I think we're going to I'd like to do a giveaway this year. I think we can.
Okay.
But we'll talk more about it.
Once we get it established.
Keep your eyes open for that. I was just going to tell you where you can all hang out with us on our socials. And it reminded me that although we've far past reflection.
Oh yeah,
we put up 2 polls today on our Instagram.
I forgot.
So
let's do it at the end.
We'll do it right now.
Yep.
So on our Instagram, which is at the Keep Up Podcast, we will occasionally post polls. Today we had a couple.
Yes.
Well, one poll and one question.
Right.
Would you become a scary creature for October? What do you think? Do you want the percentages, or do you want to just guess what won?
I'm gonna guess. I'll guess the percentages.
Okay.
And what one, I guess.
So the responses are, yup, I want to be a monster. No, thank you. I'll keep the lights on.
Freaks. I think, yeah, because I didn't have enough text to put in, like, for the whole month of October. Like, I wanted it to be more specific, but it wasn't. So hopefully people got it. I would say it's probably not as, like, clear cut as I would hope it would be.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of people would want to be the monster.
Yeah.
I would say it's probably like 72, and whatever the math is for the other one.
Yeah.
28.
You're very close. It's 80-20.
Wow.
An 80-20 split.
Ooh.
People want to be a monster. I actually thought it would be like 100%, but I think it's interesting. There are actually a couple people who are like, nah, bro.
Nah, bro. I don't want to be a monster.
Not about it.
No.
And then the follow-up was, if so, would you put, if so or not, I'm not your mom?
If so or not. Well, if they said no to the last question, they could still answer.
Yeah. Well, if so or not, I'm not your mom. What monster?
Also, Susie asked, who didn't want to be a monster? Do we call him out?
I can't out him, dude.
I can. Yeah. I'm gonna out him.
All right, you can. So here are some of the answers for what people would be. These are great answers. So from Andy Altogether, a xenomorph. I think that would actually be really fun to be. Now,
we didn't really say it in the question, but do you have your current mind, or would you have a xenomorph mind?
Oof.
Would you become the monster for a month?
Current mind.
I think so. I think
because if you're making the choice to be it, I think you gotta.
What would you do as a xenomorph?
That's a totally different question. Do you become it not knowing what the mind of a xenomorph is like.
Mhm.
You know a couple basic things.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna kill anyone who is not a fellow xenomorph,
Right.
but you don't really know what the mind is like.
Of a xenomorph.
And then do you remember it? If you, I don't know. That's a different question.
That's a different question.
Purple Mohawk, shape-shifting. That would be, if I could be a shapeshifter
Yeah.
of any kind, if I have my choice, 100%, but I feel like I'm going to spend most of my time as like a werewolf anyway, so I would also just go werewolf.
Plus, could you shapeshift into other monsters? Is that like...
Yeah, I think that's the thing.
That's the smartest
That's the
answer.
hack. That's the smartest one. And then the Grizz said Crumb from Our Real Monsters, which is also a great...
That's a fantastic answer.
Crumb is great.
God, what a life he lives, though. He has to hold his eyeballs.
Yeah, that does kind of suck, but you get a hang of it, you know what I mean?
Plus, you could probably put your eyeballs in cool places.
Totally.
And you could still live life.
Right.
I'm not going to round out the people.
See?
I have a heart of gold.
There is good in this world. So you guys can hang out with us at the Keep Up Podcast. That's on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and is that all the things?
TikTok,
and
Instagram, YouTube.
That's it. We're on Facebook, but we're not as active on there. We do have one, so if you want to hang out there, you can as well.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Brett almost destroyed the world. I just realized that was
you can also, what'd you say?
I just realized that was up. So I don't know how well they could hear us, but it's fine.
Oh, word. You can also get yourself some extra bonuses at patreon.com/thekeepup. Over there, you get a bonus podcast every month. The Keep Up in Cricket City, where there's even less rules than what we have here, which we know is already very little. A couple of rapid fire food challenges.
Yeah. And don't worry, we have the next one coming out.
We do.
Don't worry. It's,
we do. You know what? I'll issue a public apology. We missed posting our food challenges last month because of, we had 2 interruptions. I think there was one week we just had to rush the podcast, I think, and then I was gone the last week, so it was because our recording was the night before I left, and I had to get up at like I think 2 a.m. to get the bus.
Yep.
So it was all on me. But we're going to have those to you very soon.
Yes, they'll be out this week.
Yes. So if you guys want to hang out with us there, you can also subscribe at I think our tiers start at $1.
Yep.
You can get a shout out on the podcast, and we're going to add some more stuff to our tiers very soon as well. So check that out there if you're interested. Tim, why don't you tell everybody where they can find you and your other work?
You guys can find me at Collection Revolution on TikTok, on Twitch, on Instagram. You can also find me at Collect Revo on X or Twitter, wherever. You know, it's the same thing.
Whatever.
I'm also on Threads. I don't know how many people use Threads anymore, but I'm there. Collection Revolution.
Is it already going out?
It's just like not used very often.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Wow.
Brett, where can everyone find you?
You guys can find me on Instagram at This Drink I Like It. There is a link tree there. That's my personal IG. You can follow me there. Hit me up there, whatever you want to do. Happy to hang out and talk there. There is a link there that will get you to all of my other work. That includes my music and other podcast, video game and YouTube streaming stuff. If you like spooky games, I'm going to be posting some YouTube videos for the Brett in the Dark channel this month. We're going to be opening that Silent Hill figure, which I still haven't opened.
Oh, that's exciting.
Still don't know what's in there. I think tomorrow I'm going to set it up.
Nice.
Unless my arms hurt from my doctor's appointment. That would suck.
Oh,
We'll
fight through the
happens.
pain.
I'll fight, dude. I'm just the whole video. I'm like, and again, you can follow Tim on Twitch at twitch.tv/Collection Revolution. That's where we always stream the podcast. You're welcome to hang out with us here when we record. Tim's going to do what's called End Babble, where he talks nonsense for a few minutes. I totally forgot to ask the chat to send us words. So I am going to just steal a couple from what you guys have been talking about. And we are going to give Tim the theme of Rhetorical Shapeshifter Game Changer.
Rhetorical Shapeshifter Game Changer?
Yeah, it's a weird one, man.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
No, it's sure.
We love you guys. Feel free to leave a review on Apple Podcasts. If you haven't, tell your friends, tell your enemies, tell your moms about the Keep Up Podcast. We love you. Okay, bye.
A question. Long ago, forgotten by man, but remembered by beasts. A question of shape-shifting proportions. Will Beast Man be Man Beast if he transforms into Beast Man? Or will Beast Man Beast become Man Beast Man when he unshapeshifts? You fools, that question was rhetorical. As you see, the real question is what's inside your heart. Will you decide to become a monster? For Halloween, this is your moment. Oh, great wise man of game-changing proportions, I bring you nothing but the truth. In the moments upon thee who has listened, your ability to become a monster is very simple. All you have to do is eat your pet. And so I'll leave you with this. Don't eat your pets. Unless they're chicken, or cow, or donkeys, or chicken. Thank you.
Amazing.
Thank you. Susie, I'm sorry. Donkeys are delicious. Do
Oh.
people eat donkeys?
Dude, I hope not. We saw some really cute ones the other day.
Oh,
Dude, check this out.
But just show me a butt. What are they doing?
She's wearing pants. They're just like the pink pelicans on her body. I actually haven't heard the audio yet.
She just fell on her face. Did you take photos of the donkey, Brett?
Oh,
We didn't talk about your trip at all.
I don't
either.
think I did. No, we didn't.
Yeah.
We didn't talk about my trip. We didn't talk about lunch.
Oh, speaking of lunch, I'm hungry. Oh,
What?
God.
What,
You just pooped your pants.
I didn't do anything.
But yeah, we got to get out of here because we got a couple more videos to film
We do.
before the night dawns thee.
Before the night is through.
But Susie, I appreciate you being here. Mango, you were here making soup. I hope you're doing well.
I hope your soup's good.
He said a couple things. Making soup, fun story. Does that happen in adulthood? Glob, that would be so weird to
That would
have
be
people
so weird.
fighting over. I guess it does. Smart is a game changer.
I know.
You missed it.
Yeah, dude, I missed it.
That's good soup.
That's a good soup.
Ramen has chicken and noodles, right? So it's
Chicken flavoring.
Yeah, that's chicken.
Does it have chicken?
That's
That's
chicken.
chicken.
Oh goodness. So we're gonna get on out of here. I think I saw Batsy was on.
That's it.
Batsy. Oh my butt. Oh.
What happened, dude?
Nothing. I just stood up. But yes, I will be back tomorrow for Faith, the Unholy Trinity. Be playing with Nick. We're gonna be surviving the Spookums games. And I'll be dressed as a priest. Because we're gonna be fighting demons. So I hope to see all you lovely folks
You have
there.
a priest outfit?
I do. I know. Right.
I know.
You can be a priest with me. We can change the world.
We can. I don't have a priest outfit.
You can get one.
Can you just wear the collar like separate from?
I think so. Let's see. Is Batsy still on? Oh, Batsy!
That's it.
Batsy! What is she? Yep, Batsy's on. She's playing your mom phobia. So, yeah, we're gonna raid into Batsy. I believe it's Batsy. It's Batsy. Vanish my phobia. Start raid. So yes, folks, we'll be back tomorrow. By we, I mean me will be back tomorrow. Brett can be back too, though.
Maybe.
Maybe. Oh, let's listen to music. So thanks for being here, guys. Thanks.
Thanks for being here.
Thanks for beans,
Thanks for being.
and have a good one.
Bye, guys.
Thanks for the stream, and good luck with food. Thank you, Susie. It should be easy ones tonight.
Guys, passed.
Brody's gone. My guy, my dude. Bye, Susie, and everyone else. Goodbye.
Bye, guys.
Doink. Da da da. Your mother.
Video game.